The next dish is very exciting. Most of the Indians who grew up in India, they might have, known what is MIRCHI BHAJJI.
So yeah, for our Canadian and American friends, like this is like a um, stuffed
Green peppers.
peppers. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like back home in India, like this used to be a favorite street food. So like so freely available, and like it's actually deep fried in oil. So especially like after school or after college, like we would definitely try to stop and like have this dish.
Shobha, I had those memories too, unfortunately, but what can we do? It was like that. Hopefully it'll change. And
Yes.
thanks to all the new inventions like air fryer and then, all these ovens where we can make them oil free. So I took like serrano peppers. These are spicy, but then as you can see, I removed the seeds in them very carefully. I wore the gloves and then did it. And then I made a stuffing to fill these uh, peppers with. The stuffing I made is with some sesame seeds, some cilantro, sesame seeds, some lemon juice, and then the most important ingredient, the star ingredient, is like the carom seeds. I think this is actually a fruit we call ajwain in um, Hindi. These are carom seeds, and you don't need much. Like even 1/8 teaspoon will give a strong flavor, and they have properties like a laxative. So you have to be careful not to use too much. But then in Ayurveda, they believe like it helps in aiding digestion and all that. So that's a must item. So here is like I already did a paste and kept it ready so that it won't
Yeah.
be.
Could you lower your camera, Sirisha? Okay, yeah. So okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I made a paste of some sesame seeds and some flaxseed powder, and then some carom seeds, onion, and then cilantro. So this is how it looks. I'm going to show you how I stuff it in the green peppers. I already stuffed some to show. So take this and then stuff it.
Dr. Sirisha, for our audience, could you send us the exact amounts after? Like we
Like
could post it.
how
Yeah,
many how much
definitely.
sesame seeds and all that
Yes.
you added?
I already uploaded this recipe on our website, on our blog, but I will show you.
Wonderful. Yeah, good, good. So, okay, we can let people know, like,
It's there.
Dr. Sirisha's blog is plantbasedlosangeles.org, and the recipes for this is on that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's there.
So we'll put that in the comments as well.
So this paste has onions, cilantro, lemon juice, some flaxseed powder, carom seeds, and sesame seeds. So this will help with the taste as well as to cut down the heat. Since we are not using any oil, it will increase the flavor as well as the fat content in the sesame seeds will help with the taste. And as you all know, green chilies are a great source of vitamin C. And people who eat, hot foods, spicy foods have low metabolic rates because they increase high metabolic rates. Sorry, because they increase the metabolism. So they increase the brown fat as well. And
So one thing about having the spicy food for people and the hot food for people who are not used to it is that you don't have to go to that level of extent of hotness, right? Like if whatever, you
yeah,
could make these things like mild and moderate and whatever level you want, you can make it, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can
yeah,
also use regular peppers for people who are wondering, okay, like I don't get this type of chilies
Yes.
like where I live. So definitely you can try with regular peppers.
So the regular bell peppers, right?
Yes.
So we could just stuff that and
And also like the regular peppers that we get long,
Banana
like
peppers,
sometimes, yes.
the banana peppers are not spicy. So here,
yes, banana
Yes.
peppers are a great idea.
Yeah.
yeah. So here is the flowers. I'm gonna take, this is chickpea flour, and then this is rice flour, and some coriander seed powder, and some ginger garlic paste, and some red chili powder, and some turmeric, and some carom seeds as well, and a little pinch of black pepper I added. So here we add water very carefully, because we are not making it in a traditional way, right? We are making it oil free. So the batter for this has to be nice and thick so that it applies to the, peppers. So carefully add, and then, try to mix it with a whisk. So this is the most important part of this recipe, is like mixing the batter. It shouldn't be runny. It should be nice and thick, but try to mix everything nicely. It already smells very good because of all. So it's too thick, it's hard to apply. So now I add little bit more. As I said, this is the hard part, like mixing and adding, mixing and adding, and make sure it's not too runny, but everything is nice and, mixed. Yeah, I think this is good.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I can add little bit more, not more than that. And so that now everything we added in here, and I forgot to add one ingredient, that is baking soda. I'm so sorry. Because if we don't add baking soda, they won't puff up. So a little pinch of baking soda will help the, bhaji to nicely rise. So this is maybe half teaspoon. So let's mix that. So now, once we added all these, now we will apply this to the green chili. For that, I will be using gloves because these green chilies are spicy. I mean, to eat, it's fine, not to touch though. So, because by mistake, if we put in our eyes, that won't be a pleasant experience. I de-seeded all the seeds, but then, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do. And then we take the, I already filled the green chilies with the stuffing. And then I take some and then apply. Just hold it like this and apply. If you have a brush, I think you can do with that too, but with the hand, it comes out. So nicely you're applying the batter so that it stays on the green chili. And the good way to find out if the batter is too runny is, it's sticking nicely, right?
Yes, it's perfect. It's nice and thick. And as you said, it's better to keep this batter in this consistency so that it's not runny.
Yes. And what I might have done before this is bring the air fryer basket, which I obviously didn't do. So now I'm going to bring it. So what I did is I lined the air fryer basket with parchment paper. Parchment paper is your friend when you're doing oil-free baking or air frying, you know, easy cleanup, and then it doesn't stick either. So instead of putting in the plate and getting the plate with the batter, I would directly put, as soon as I did this, I will lay this in the air fryer basket nicely. And I'm going to show you. Sorry, I'm going to quickly do this. I don't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to do this and keep it ready because I wanted to show how I do this. Like many people didn't believe when I said like, we can do oil-free mirchi bhaji.
Yeah, this is an important step
Yeah,
because
because most of the time we are used to dipping the
Yeah.
that pepper in it, and when you dip the pepper in that, it will probably become too thick, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the coating.
Yeah, and also it won't stick on it. If you're
Mm.
directly putting in the oil, that's a different story, but we are not doing that, right?
Mm.
And then we're nicely laying it in the air fryer, and it takes just 10 minutes in the air fryer. As you all know, like chickpea flour cooks very fast, and
Mm.
since we put all the stuffing in there, you don't have to have the peppers cooked thoroughly. It can be a little raw, but it's very tasty.
yeah. Like when we are able to modify these dishes and make them without oil, it's such a game changer because
Right?
like we don't want to miss our favorite foods, like especially the foods that we grew up with. And a lot of times when we tell our patients or participants that they can definitely plantify their favorites, and this is what we mean by that, like definitely you can have the healthier versions of your favorite food. So even though like you're fond of deep fried things, these are some of the ways that you can cook them and not miss them.
Yeah. I'll do just one more. I'll try to get one more, and then we will
And
put it.
then maybe later you can send through the computer so that we'll have it as well.
I'm sorry, Shobha. I wish it functioned like that, right? I know, I know.
Yeah, they look so yummy.
So, and these are the mirchi bhaji that's good for you. These are
Yeah.
good for mirchi bhaji. So I'm going to show in a minute how I do this.
Wow.
So you just line them like that. It's okay, even if there is a little bit of, gap, you can always fill it with a spoon if it didn't go with the hand. Yeah, anyhow, the less batter, the better, right? You want
Yeah.
chili, the green pepper and the stuffing in there. And then I will air fry this for 10 minutes first. If it's not done, we will go 5 minutes more at 350 for 10 minutes. I put it at 370 actually, 370 for 10 minutes, and then I will check. So yeah, so both of this is passive cooking. I can do while that's happening in the instant pot, and while that's happening in the air fryer, I can do other things, right? So oil-free cooking as well as plant-based cooking is not that hard because most of this is like passive cooking, right? So what I did here is, I'm going to show you guys in a minute. So I prepared a plate ready for the mirchi bhaji.
Oh, that looks nice.
So anytime you're eating fried food, it doesn't have to be deep fried. Even if it is air fried, I always say, like, try to add some raw component on it. So I'll show you in a minute what we'll be doing to the mirchi bhaji. Some of you who are familiar with this kind of dish, you already know. We cut the mirchi bhaji, add some onions, carrot, and some peanuts, and some, pomegranates. And I have to definitely use the microgreens because my son grows them.
Oh yeah, your son he's like he's a farmer of the future. Like he is. How old is he?
He's 11.
He's 11, and the stuff he's growing in the microgreens, it's amazing.
And he's plant-based.
Yeah.
So I knew this when I was young, right? So he was like, particularly, Mom, are you using my microgreens? I'll find a way to use them. So cut the mirchi bhaji and then, put all this. And the thing is, you have to put lemon juice on the top.
Yum. Yes.
So good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So which there's a question here.
Like what microgreens did you use here, Sirisha?
These are broccoli microgreens.
Okay, these are broccoli. Okay.
There's a question here. Which air fryer are you using?
It's a very basic Crux one.
Crux, okay.
Yeah, I'm planning to get something really nice. Let's see for the Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But this is a very basic one.
Basic one, okay.
Yeah, basic.
There are so many choices, right? The air fryers, like Instant Pot also has air fryer. Some of our students are using that. That's good. Yeah.
And also like T-File has an air fryer too.
Okay, so this started the countdown at 12 minutes. Yeah.
Now it's in 12 minutes, the dal will be ready.
Mhm.
So I'll show you what I will do once the Instant Pot the pressure is released. As I said before, never miss an opportunity to use more greens than you can in a dish. So dal is a perfect example. This is a big bunch of cilantro that's thinly chopped. So once this is cooked, we will be adding this and then mixing well. And then if needed, we will add a little bit of lemon juice as well. But the tanginess from the raw mango should be good. So as I said, like in any Indian curries or dals or soups, cilantro is the best herb to add. And this also helps with blood sugar regulation. And this was a major part of my dad's diet as well. So I just wanted to mention that if anyone with diabetes is listening, this is one thing really good to use along with your healthy plant-based diet.
Wonderful. Like, so greens go a long way, isn't it? For everyone knows that vegetables are good for them. That people don't just realize how good they are. Like we all know, like you gotta eat your fruits and vegetables, but people just don't realize how beneficial they are. And of all these vegetables, right, the greens are like even the top notch, isn't it?
Yeah, like when it comes to nutrient density, greens are the first. I mean, they stand first in terms of nutrient density.
Yes, and why not use the herbs which can be easily taken in? Like if you're doing Italian cooking, use a ton of basil and parsley. And if you're doing Indian cooking, cilantro, curry leaves. And all these come with, their own nutrient dense.
Yes.
Sorry, the green chili is really...
I see a comment from Angela, like she bought an air fryer that she likes at Costco, Total Chef by Cooltron, Canadian made.
And only about
$75.
Okay, yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Thank you, Angela. I'm gonna look for that.
Yeah, so, see, Dr. Sirisha, you're connecting from, we didn't tell our audience, like you're connecting from Oak Park.
Yeah, Oak Park in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. So if it is $75 in Canada, it may be even less for you. It may be just like $50.
Or even less. Yeah.
so many things on list for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
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 So
So
as we
there
were,
you have a very active group in Los Angeles. Is it like
yeah.
you're teaching people how to use plant-based food as medicine?
Mhm.
And
So I've been doing these plant-based workshops in the local community center. Um, Now I shifted that to Zoom classes. So I'm teaching Zoom. Like I have like more than 15 participants right now in this session. So this is every Thursday. Um, and they are amazed that we can cook all these without oil and make so many varieties in plant-based. And this plant-based workshop we are doing, we focused on holiday specials, how we can make roasted cauliflower, how we can make stuffed mushrooms. Air fryer is amazing for that too. You can make stuffed mushrooms, stuffed bell peppers, and then roasted cabbage. You can cut the cabbage into thick chunks and you can roast them. And those are all like nice holiday dishes. So I've been doing that. And after this pandemic started, we started doing these online Zoom sessions for folks in India as well, where we can help them, um, you know, uh, mm, reverse, treat, as well as prevent the diabetes. Like many folks in India are either pre-diabetic, diabetic, or suffering from complications of diabetes. So we started this Zoom sessions, and it's so rewarding to see, like, the feedback we get from the participants. We particularly, I and Dr. Anita, we particularly put it Saturday evening, so that it's Sunday morning for folks in India. And then he's the principal of an engineering college. He's one of our participant, and then he said like he never saw such low blood sugars in his 12 to 15 years of diabetic life. That's what he told us.
it's amazing, right? Like,
Yes,
how quickly
yes.
we've had uh, we've had similar stories in our students, like where the blood sugars were like if we go in Canadian numbers, like the average here is for people who used to have in double digits, like 15 and 20s, they started seeing blood sugars in normal range, like 6 to 8. And we had one participant who said, like, I never saw my blood sugar in single digits, like in Canadian system wise, in last 20 years. That was like within 2 days.
Like it is so amazing to see the power of food in just in front of your eyes. You're able to see people like when they switch to this kind of foods,
Exactly.
like using healthy ingredients, using more fiber, using no oil. And like it's amazing to see. Like we also run like 6 week programs, and from the start till the end, it's amazing to see like how they come in and the transformation that happens. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And also like,
Yeah.
yes, like we
Yeah.
don't get to see this change in the clinics, like when we practice in the clinics, and I know the patient comes and we prescribe the pill and not much happens. But when we show people like how they can modify, because like what you're showing, Sirisha, today is such a gold mine, because a lot of people wonder, okay, how can I, okay, you're telling me to eat this, do this, but how can I make it? Because even to conceive, it's very much difficult for a lot of people.
That's true, Shobha. It's like it's very tempting to go back to our old ways of eating and cooking. Even for me, like when I started initially, like it's like, oh, maybe I'll add a little bit of oil. It's okay. It's very tempting when you. So I said, if there is no oil in the home, I won't be tempted, right? So, and then it's amazing. And in March, in February, just before the pandemic started, um, there was a local association, Indian Association, Los Angeles Telugu Association. So they asked us to do a seminar about plant-based eating and all that. So I did like a Facebook Live along with Dr. Anita, and then after that, the organization, they started WhatsApp groups to motivate people, and the one group became two became three became four. It's like each group has like more than 150 participants, and then we get so much feedback from all the participants saying like, we never knew that oil-free cooking is this easy.
Yes.
And is doable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like it is so quick and it's so easy to clean, as you said. Even I'm glad you mentioned, like that's what happened with me too. Coming from Indian culture, it was very difficult for me to conceive how to cook without oil. So literally I had to throw oil out of my house, not a single drop. Otherwise, as you said, like we get tempted, oh maybe I can just add a little bit. And but like after I threw the oil out of my house, like I was able to get a lot of ideas, because now since oil is not there, I was literally forced to cook without oil, and then see like how we can make our traditional dishes without oil. So that was a game changer.
And one added advantage is like, if you're doing oil-free cooking, you won't need that much salt.
Yes.
If you are adding the same salt content or amount as you are with the oil, it'll be too salty.
Yes.
So that's an added advantage. If
Yes.
someone is trying to, reduce the salt intake, but they can't do it, go oil free.
Yes. So
It's,
the
it's,
thing is,
it's the
like
same
the
thing with
oil,
sugar.
yeah,
Yeah.
oil intake, like all the oil we take, it coats the taste buds, right? Like when it coats the taste buds, you need to put more sugar, you need to put more salt to compensate that. But when we take the oil out, you can make the dishes with less amount of salt and less amount of sugar than before.
And you can taste the food, like
Flavors.
you can taste the flavors of the food, which is really nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then one last thing is, I would say it's also easy to clean the dishes. Yeah. It's so easy to clean. You could just use water and just like, scrub it, and so quick. But if you're using oil, you have to put like, so much detergent, and like so easy to clean the dishes.
It's economical as well as environment friendly, because less
Yeah.
water, less detergent, no oil cost.
Yes.
Yeah, oil is so expensive too. Yeah.
I'll just check on the MIRCHI BHAJJI. Ooh. They are almost ready.
Wow.
They look great.
Look at them. They look like they have been really deep fried in oil.
Right? Exactly. I'm going to plate them and I'm going to show. And
Sure.
the pot is also beeping. So it's done as well. So I'm going to quickly plate them and show. So advantage of using the thing is I can just remove this and put in a plate. I'm going to put here. So I took out the parchment paper, and then I will use like a knife to carefully take them out, since we worked hard for it. And I'm going to show how we eat them.
And I think the same thing can be done with the pakodis and also like with the same batter, with the same chickpea batter.
Yes. Some of the filling came out. And I'm telling you, the filling is so delicious when, you're biting on it. These are nice and crunchy.
Mirchi bhaji ready, huh?
I know. We'll just plate 4. Obviously, they're very hot. So I'll show you how we eat for some folks who are not familiar. We cut them in the middle. Okay. You can hear the hard sound, right?
Yes, the crunch.
It's nice and crispy. So once you do that, add some red onions. Red onions are a great way great ingredients to include in our diet because they're filled with flavonoids like quercetin, right? So, and then some carrots. And then some pomegranate seeds. Some peanuts, and then the microgreens. And just before eating, squeeze some lemon juice. That way you're not, I'm going to show you in a separate plate so that you'll know how it's going to look individually. And then pouring some lemon juice while eating gives it such a nice flavor. That's it.
You see, like, burst of flavors, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
the herbs and the spices and the veggies and the lemon.
Adding some pomegranate will also give nice kick next to it.
Beautiful,
Yes,
beautiful.
your son must be so eager to eat them.